Well, I hand hammer cymbals. Basically, I take a flat cymbal and I hammer it as many times as I need to get to the right profile. Well, start my day, I guess. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so I can get here and, you know, get started, get woken up and get ready, have a coffee, and then after that I go in and on the floor and I get to work. I have my hammer and my anvil and my apron, I guess. There's not a whole lot as far as tools, but you know, it's all about how you use them, right? Ideally, everything but the head of the hammer we make. I take the handle, and they're a little bit big, so I have to sand them down and make them a nice round shape and make it fit the hammer. So yeah, I do make my own tools, and it's really cool. The anvil, it's a big piece of steel, also quite tempered, nice and hard, and it sits on that log, more or less in the log actually. There's a hole cut into the log, and there's a big cylinder of metal on the bottom of the anvil that sits inside there, and that presses against that anvil and creates a nice tight grab on it. So the vibration will drive down through the log instead of up through the anvil and into your arms and stuff. It just makes it easier on you. There's one spot on the anvil that your hammer will bounce really, really well, and when you hit that spot with the cymbal between your hammer and your anvil, it stretches the metal. And as you stretch the metal, eventually your cymbal will get higher and higher until you get it right on the template. And once you're right on the template, you know, that's all you gotta do. Well, when I found out how the cymbals were made, it was all really, really cool to me. It was totally different than what I imagined, you know? Especially the hand hammering. I thought, you know, you just hit it a couple hundred times and then you're done. A real quick job, but no, it's a lot more than I thought it was. But when I'm making a 22-inch cymbal, I'd hit it anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 times, depending on how high it was bumped before, right? So it's a lot more than I thought it was. All across the board, even with the lathing and whatnot. I had no idea what the machinery looked like. And it all really amazes me. It blows my mind how they do it and have a really nice sound come out of a big piece of metal. I do feel like it's a big family. Everyone knows each other. We're all on a first name basis. Even with Andy himself, he'll walk up and call you right by your first name. And I really like that because it's a sense of camaraderie, you know? We're all friends, we all come here and we enjoy each other's company. It makes it a nicer place to work. I feel like I can have a conversation with anyone in this building, you know? I can walk up and say hi to anyone, don't matter if they're an executive or, you know, entry level or anything. It just feels like we're all buddies. Yesterday we had Stanton Moore in the factory, and that was a really cool experience because it was the first time I got to talk to a musician and see what he wanted out of a cymbal and what he wanted for a sound, and then to hammer it for him and have him, you know, test it right in front of me. It was all new, and I really enjoyed that. It was a cool experience. It's nice that the musicians actually come in and talk to us, and we have an idea of what they want. It makes it easier for us to hammer cymbals for them. When I go to a concert or turn on the TV and see the cymbals that we make at SABIAN, you know, see that HH logo, it really fills me with a sense of pride, you know, because I could have made that cymbal and now someone famous is playing it. I'd want to make a cymbal for Neil Peart, just because he's pretty much my favorite drummer of all time. What, being Canadian and of course being in Rush, like one of the greatest Canadian bands in history. And from what I gathered, he really likes loud, explosive crash cymbals. So I'd really like to hammer something for him that was, you know, fits his style of really loud, explosive playing. What drives me is the fact that people like good instruments, you know, and I like to play good instruments. I don't want to play something that's of low quality or bad sound. So I figure I should come in here and make everything to the best of my ability and make sure that people have a good hand-hammered cymbal.
Cymbals being a mystery for every drummer. This is an endless search for the ultimate cymbal sound.